I'm not going to lie. The second section of the Backbone Trail is a workout, but it will also feed your soul. We begin the section of the Backbone Trail at Rancho Sierra Vista in Newbury Park. Directions to the trailhead along with parking instructions are in the description. By the way, this was filmed before I learned we were illegally parked and I had to move the car. As for hiking, we head south on the Big Sycamore Canyon Road, which is paved the entire distance to the Danielson Ranch Multi-Use Area, which is where we left off on the first section. A link to that video is in the description. Well, after more than 3 miles, we come to the actual Backbone Trail. There are 2 other options for trailheads. One can start from Sycamore Canyon Campground, that's a little more than 4 miles, or combine the first section, which starts at Ray Miller Trailhead, with this section and go the full 17 miles in one day. Any way you look at it, it's a pain in the butt. However, this is the only time we have to deal with these kinds of logistics for the rest of the Backbone Trail. So we hung a left off the main road and entered the Danielson Multi-Use Area. Here you can find shaded picnic tables, restrooms, and running water. We could have combined the first 2 sections into a backpack and camped here. That would have been both simple and more complicated at the same time, but it's worth considering.
9 miles?
We have 9 miles to go. We walk out of the campground headed east and find this sign for the Blue Canyon Trail. The Backbone Trail emblem confirms we're on the right path. Just beyond the trailhead is this map. It doesn't hurt to get a picture of it for backup. The route follows a seasonal unnamed creek, crossing it several times over the course of a mile. So we come to this junction and we turn right. From here we can see Boney Peak, which we're about to climb the slopes of, with a 3,000 foot elevation gain over a relatively short 7 miles. Now the last time we did this, we came from the opposite direction and descended it. Hard on the knees. This time, hard on the legs and lungs. But that doesn't matter. I consider this to be one of the prettiest sections of the Backbone Trail, and I intend to enjoy it every sweaty step of the way. At first, the climb is moderate, meaning it's not easy, but not thigh-stingingly difficult either. We pass the last trickles of the creek, which originates just above us, and then the trail accelerates the elevation gain as it exits Blue Canyon. The benefit of all that climbing? Even better views. After about a mile of this, we come to the Chamberlain Trail. Good place for a rest stop. Oh,
Jeez.
right on the edge. That could have been worse, I suppose. I hurt myself, yes. You know, I was thinking that I remembered when we went down this. Thank you. That I was so glad we were going down it and not up it.
I know, because we have to go all the way up there.
Yeah. And I remember meeting some people going up it and feeling sorry for them. So now I feel sorry for myself. As we start up the Chamberlain Trail, it is comforting. We don't have to worry about bikes screaming down the trail. That is, we're now in the Boney Mountain State Wilderness, and mechanized anything isn't allowed. Landmarks that once towered over us are now below us, and the ones still above our heads won't be for long. Pretty soon, the geology starts changing with strange volcanic boulders. You don't see rocks like this every day. The trail hits the saddle as we start around the north slope of Boney Mountain, and what else? Continues climbing. So, in addition to all the scenic views we've had along the way, our next point of attraction is this, Chamberlain Rock, aka Split Rock. It was named after Henry Chamberlain, who once owned the land around here. I don't know if he started this rumor, but some people say that if you slide through the crack from west to east, all your demons will be cleansed. Sounds like a corny roadside attraction for tourists. But I'm gonna do it. Okay, let's get through this a little bit here. Funny, I don't feel any different. Let's go back and see how that feels. Nope. Still the same. We leave Chamberlain Rock to the legends and continue uphill.
Danielson Ranch.
Perhaps a bit impressed by how far we've gone.
And our car is way over there, on the other side of the hill.
We then come to where I had twisted my ankle on our descent through here several years ago. Time to be careful and not have another accident. Whoa! You know, you're not allowed on this trail.
You're not?
No, bikes are not allowed on this.
Okay. Why is that?
I don't know, it's just a wilderness
sure.
area or something.
Okay.
It's not, I didn't.
No, I know. It's just one of those things.
Watch out for my tripod.
For sure.
Yeah, one of those things. He later tells us he rides this trail often, and he hasn't seen the signs for no bikes. As for the hike, volcanic rock bluffs start showing up and the trail eases from time to time. We come to this junction where the backbone goes right. Another junction quickly follows, and we turn to the right again. The terrain continues to get easier with shorter uphill sections. Inspiration Point. We've hiked about 10 miles so far, so we really don't feel like going up there. But here's some video from a previous hike. This monument is for an Eagle Scout who unfortunately died at a very early age. Another junction pops up, and this time we swing to the left. The trail gets pretty steep from here. All the climbing is now behind us when we hit this right-hand junction for an unmarked spur to the top of Sandstone Peak. At 3,114 feet, it's the highest point on the Backbone Trail. By the way, we hit the lowest point on the trail on the previous section at the Ray Miller Trailhead, which is pretty close to sea level. Trust me, these aren't the only superlatives we're going to come across. There are many more coming up on the trail. It's getting late in the afternoon and we have a long car shuttle. So again, here's video from a previous hike to the peak. I have to admit the climb is a bit of a scramble. Those with height phobia issues might not enjoy this one. You know, this peak is also known as Mount Allen, named after a Boy Scout bigwig from the 20th century. That's him, right there. But the name sandstone has stuck over the years. Not sure why. It's not sandstone. Now I realize this is a distinction that maybe only a geologist would love, but rock is actually andesite. It started out as volcanic breccia, a type of molten lava that is spewed in various sized chunks, but it's not sandstone. Now then, if you're not impressed with the monument here or the geology, there's always the view from the peak. As for us, we still have 2.5 miles to the end of the hike, all of it downhill. Along the way, we pass the volcanic Echo Cliffs to the left. It's a favorite place for rock climbers. About a mile past that, there's this junction with the Sandstone Peak Trail, which heads right to a parking lot. We continue straight. After more descent, we hit the Mishe Mokwa Trail. We make a hard right at the sign. Oh, by the way, the name Mishe Mokwa sounds like it could be a Chumash native word. Nope. It comes from a 19th century epic poem called Song of Hiawatha. And Mishe Mokwa was a giant bear that made a brief appearance in the story. Finally, and about a half mile from the junction, we drop to Yerba Buena Road where our shuttle car awaits. Now that was a good hike.